Kyrie, describe your feelings.
Uh,
Let it go.
feel good. I felt good. It's a play that we work on during shoot around pretty often, so it felt good to execute and had to trust in my teammates out there and being lucky enough and fortunate enough to hit a left-hand floater outside the free throw line. I thought I got a little closer in the paint, but when I looked at it after the game, and I was pretty far out. But shots that I work on and just being ambidextrous and being able to trust the skills that I work on when no one's watching, and fortunate enough to win in tonight.
You obviously work on your left a lot. How much do you work on your left in the mid-range area?
Yeah, pretty often, man. Pretty often. Sometimes I spend, just an hour straight just working on straight left-hand stuff. And, being a small guard for a large portion of my life, I consider myself a space out four now. But, but just being a small guard, you just got to have a multitude of finishes. And that's something I've been working on since I was a kid. And we playing in the most athletic league in the world and, full of athletes. So those guys make up ground pretty quick. So just try to work on things that, defense is not really expecting.
Can you take me through, it's obviously a split-second decision, but just the decision to launch a lefty hook in that situation, kind of take me through what you're seeing in there.
Yeah, man, majority of it is instinctual and comes from preparation for hours, again, that no one sees. So I saw Jokic taking away kind of my pull-up going left. I had hit I had hit one or two tonight, so I knew that he was going to come up, but I didn't know he was going to commit like that. So he was forcing me inside the three-point line. And as soon as I felt him kind of behind me, I was like, oh, I have my left hand, it's wide open, so why not go to it? And I think that's kind of what happened, the way I saw it, just instincts, man.
Kid said it was, obviously a play with two different options. Luka was also an option. When did you realize, you were probably going to get the ball? Did you have an expectation going in?
Yeah, before the play happened, I pretty much had an expectation. I wouldn't have gotten that shot off without Luka tying the ball game. He was unbelievable tonight and making a lot of clutch plays, getting to the free throw line. So I give a lot of credit to him of getting us to that position and then allowing me to get that game winner at the end. It was just a full culmination of a team effort. But that three that he hit to tie the game was just as huge as the game winner.
And then just your perspective on this team. You guys have played twice in Denver, got beat in the paint, on the glass, all of these second chance points.
Mm-hmm.
Come out with new trade deadline acquisition players.
Yeah.
But also just, continuing to build this identity that you can, you can bully, a team that is usually the opposite. What have you seen that this team is able to do?
I feel like we match up with pretty much anybody well, especially on the defensive end. We have the ability to switch 1 through 5, and we also have a foundational defense that we've been going to pretty much the whole season. Since I've got here, it's just gotten here. I felt like we've just consistently worked on our communication and then also our trust that we have the intangible skill sets to be able to stop teams, and then we also have the skill sets offensively to dominate teams and really get out in transition and not so much playing half court in the ISO game and just watch me and Luka play. If we get a few fast break points, and again, if we score over 15 fast break points, it's going to be a long night for any team. So I feel like we're playing to our strengths, and then when it gets tough and we face a little adversity throughout the game, we're able to slow the game down, throw it to the post, or go to our common plays.
Before Luka missed the other night, 17 in a row you guys had played together, which is the longest since you were traded here. How much does that help, and where do you feel like
Looks good, right? Looks good, right? Now that we got a sample size everybody could judge off of instead of every other game. Yeah, no, it feels good to be able to play those amount of consistent games and get a feel for one another and really show what we've been working on in practice too. You guys don't get a chance to see all our practices, and when it's me and Luka playing against our second five, but we got a great chemistry, and when we got guys making shots alongside of us, it makes the game a lot easier.
You've made a big shot or two before, but something like this, in a season like this, when you've had two games where it was pretty playoff intense, and you won one, lost a tough one, but how much does all this kind of combine to help the team moving forward?
Yeah, I think I could say it after the game now, but before the game, you come in to the arena, and you're going against defending champs. It's going to be a tough one, and we dropped last game, and we're kind of fighting for this 6th spot, 7th spot, whatever it is, and it's on your mind. And as a competitor, you want to play well, and especially in a high-intense environment. And I felt like we answered that call majority of the game. We made some mistakes throughout the game, which is going to happen, but I feel like we were very resilient, and we have that mindset and mentality that we still have more work to do. We're not satisfied just with going in and being competitive with some of the best teams in the West or in the league. We want to beat them, and same mentality other teams have against us. And I think we gave ourselves a chance to prove that tonight, and we were successful. So we just want to continue that moving forward.
What do you see as a realistic ceiling for this team?
Championship is the ultimate goal, so that's what we're playing for.
Kyrie, going on kind of your creativeness, feels like every game, Mavs fans, team see something new that we haven't seen before. Where do you get your creative drive from and getting new ideas? So many people probably get ideas from watching your games.
What do you mean, just who?
Where are you getting new ideas from to figure out all these different layup packages, dribbling? Because people look at you for inspiration usually when it comes to that.
That's a great question.
Or is there anybody?
No, I like to say I'm a mix of all the greats that have come before me, and I've watched a ton of film on them, and also the current players that are playing, and also the younger generation. I steal moves all the time, just like people steal moves from me. It's just little tricks of the trade, comes with being a professional and also approaching it like an amateur every single day as a student of your craft. And I'm never too great to learn something from someone else, or I'm never too good to learn something from someone else. So I just take that approach, and I watch a ton of guys. I go home right now I'll break my fast in like an hour or so, and I'll just be sitting in front of my computer. My wife will bring me my food, and my kids will be running in and out, but I'll be on YouTube for hours like I used to do when I was a kid, and just create that balanced space where I could go home and get all that competitive drive out, because I do still have adrenaline after games. It's still very competitive. I'm trying to calm myself down right now, even though the game ended like an hour and a half ago. But yeah, I just try to take as many little tricks of the trade from people that are very successful, and also those that are ascending on their journey.
I know you've been asked this before, but speaking of that fast and Ramadan, how difficult or not difficult is it playing like that, and kind of just giving some light to that situation?
Yeah, Ramadan is a special month, so it's a special time, and yeah, it's just you try not to think about the suffering too much, and really focus on the journey with God and the path that you're on, and just stay focused on that and stay disciplined. It's a difficult journey, and to be able to play 48 minutes and not do it with having a drink or any food in my stomach is nothing short of a miracle. So there's definitely a universal God out there that's protecting me, and I got to give credit to him.
Sorry, this is kind of random, but Payton Watson's a guy who's really come along for the Nuggets this year and developed.
Yeah.
You mentioned getting to play with you and some other NBA guys when he was back in high school.
What did Payton say?
Huh?
What did Payton say about that day?
Well, there were a couple days. He said that once he was able to beat you going back.
I know he said that. That's what I'm saying. What did he say? I want to know exactly what he said verbatim.
I don't have the.
But you don't have a quote.
He said the first time it wasn't quite like that, but he was kind of just starstruck to be in the room.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you about Payton, man. I walked into the gym. I'm like, who is this little kid right here that's, towering over me, and picking me up dang near like above half court, and it was just pickup. But the crowd on the side, it was like a small gym, and they started getting into it, and me and Payton were going at it for like 8 straight possessions, and I will admit that he scored on me a few times, and we were going at it, and that was kind of my telltale sign that he was going to be a good player in this league for a long time. He had no fear, he didn't back down, and he got me better that day.
Does anything stand out just about the enthusiasm and energy that he plays with?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You're on a random pickup day. You're playing pickup on a Wednesday. You're just trying to get better, master your craft, and here comes Payton Watson trying to pick you up, dang near 3/4 court. So it gets your wheels going as a competitor, but I'm grateful that he did that because it made me work harder for the rest of the summer, just waiting for those young guys to kind of approach me in that manner. And I relish in those moments too, going against guys that are taller, bigger, faster, stronger, and it only gets me better. So,
Kyrie, first of all, how are you doing after that celebration?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I was telling my teammates that me and Keith were like underneath the crowd, like the the mob and just smiling because it was just so excited, man. You know, we always kind of look at each other. All my teammates and I, we always look at each other when someone hits a left-hand floater or a left-hand shot, and especially me. So to have a game winner like that was pretty special. I don't take it for granted.
Derek Lively said Markieff ran the fastest he's ever.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, you said, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. This team has been 5-2 since that moment. What have you seen from this team that you would like to sustain moving forward?
Just that same mentality that, you know, whether the game looks really good in the beginning or it's ugly to start off or we're not hitting shots or we're not on our defensive assignments, we have to build that resiliency and also persevere through those tough times. We are learning through our adversity, like I said before, and our work is still not done. So we're not satisfied at all, but we also understand that the position race is happening. We don't have to keep talking about it. But every single day is a chance for us to get better and enjoy the journey. You know, we're going to make shots sometimes and blow teams out, and other times we're going to be in some tough battles. And we just got to be ready to battle for full 48 minutes and live with the results after that. No fear.